Hello and welcome. My name is Erin Hoffman. I am the Strategy and Application Lead at the Commons, and it is my pleasure to host this webinar today on behalf of my amazing team. I am joined by my Executive Director, John Dawes, and our brilliant software development team. On November 12th, we launched a major overhaul of the FieldDoc platform. While the system name, its core uses, and the underlying data that you already entered into the system remain the same, this update introduces significant changes. Nearly every part of the platform has been reimagined to enhance its functionality and flexibility. Today, we're excited to walk you through some of the most impactful updates in the new FieldDoc system. FieldDoc continues to support grant compliance requirements, but this update expands its potential far beyond reporting. With these new features, FieldDoc becomes an even more powerful tool for integrating your nature-based work into a cohesive digital strategy. We'll just be scratching the surface in today's presentation, but our goal is to help you hit the ground running with the new FieldDoc as you enter RFP season. Let's dive in and explore what's new. Before this release, FieldDoc was primarily a platform for grant applicants and recipients to meet their reporting requirements for conservation and restoration grants. Legacy FieldDoc laid the foundation for standardized reporting of restoration work to funders and regulators. However, as we listened to user feedback, we recognized an opportunity to do more. Our goal has always been to build a system that fully supports restoration and conservation practitioners. With this release, we've expanded FieldDoc to help you manage a single data portfolio of your nature-based projects, estimate their impact, and create valuable digital assets. We believe in the power of this sector to make better decisions for the future of our natural world, and we believe that when we have confidence in the data we collect, shareable data that accurately represents the investments made and the impact achieved so far, we can make this happen. When you log into FieldDoc, you'll notice a completely new interface right away. I want to pause here and reassure you, no data has been lost during the system update. If there's something you expect to see but don't, please reach out to us. Again, no data has been lost. Underneath the new interface, you'll find a host of new features and functionality just waiting to be explored. Let's start with the most fundamental change to the system, the underlying data model. In Legacy FieldDoc, the first step in creating any practice records was to create a project and assign it to a funding program. The funding program you chose determined three key things: who could see your practice data, where your metric and geospatial data were aggregated or rolled up, and what practice types and metrics you could assign to your practices. This structure was extremely limiting for practitioners using the system. It's important for us at FieldDoc that we see the system as an opportunity to serve as an amplifier for your work, not a barrier. We help you do this by opening up the data model, allowing you to build a portfolio without the constraints of funding programs, while still making it easy for you to share your on-the-ground data with third parties, such as for meeting funding requirements. To make this possible, we've loosened those data restrictions, restructured the data model, and changed practices to activities. In the new model, you can now build and organize your activity records before sharing any combination of them with funders. When you're ready to share, you create a pact within a program and select the activities that you want to include. What's exciting is that you can share the same activities across multiple packs without needing to create duplicate records. Packs are a new feature, and we'll take a closer look at them in just a few slides. By loosening the data restrictions, we're expanding data ownership, creating more equitable pathways for data sharing, and increasing opportunities for data reuse. Next, let's look at data management. We heard from many of you about the challenges of the single entry system, creating practices, selecting practice types, adding geometry, choosing metric for programs and then assigning target values? For practitioners managing large grants, this single entry setup and reporting process was simply unsustainable. So we've made some key changes. This video goes on for a while, but you are all really familiar with this workflow. Great. Now that you can see how we've been doing it for years in the past, let's move on because we've actually deprecated this process. The two biggest changes to data management are batch import and grid views. Both features are available throughout the system, but today I'll highlight importing a GeoJSON file that contains your activities. Once you've uploaded your file, you can map the fields to your new file from your file to the FieldDoc schema. After mapping, there are just a few more steps to complete the setup. Specifically, you'll need to assign activity types within FieldDoc. But once that's done, just take a look at your activity tiles, and unless you have more attribute information to include, it's ready to go. I will let us sit and watch the rest of this video. I find it really exciting every time to see this import work so seamlessly. So as you can see, we've imported 3 new activities into our FieldDoc portfolio. Now we're going to switch to that new grid view and use the drop-down to select the relevant activity type and assign it to the activity record. You can actually use copy-paste to duplicate that same activity type across multiple records. And we have this nifty atlas view so that you can see all of your activities and navigate between them from one map. This is so great. We all want to get the most out of what we have, and these data management updates are designed to help you do just that. With features like grid editing and batch import, you can maximize your skills while minimizing the time spent on basic data entry. And if you're wondering what to do with that extra time, here's our suggestion. Add more records, dive into the advanced analytical tools available through FieldDoc, or better yet, go move some more dirt. In the legacy system, the process to share your project with a funder was tightly tied to the underlying data model. It was one of the core reasons folks were using FieldDoc. Here's how it worked. You'd start by creating a project and select a funding program. That selection would then load a specific, curated list of practice types and metrics. These were the tools you had to build your application or project. If your application was successful and you received an award, you'd return to that same project to track implementation progress, ensuring compliance with the requirements of your grant award. Now, let's take a closer look at the barriers this process created. First, you could only associate a practice with a single funder. This was a major limitation if you had multiple funders contributing to the same effort. Second, the funder determined the practices and metrics available for you to report on, which might not have fully aligned with the scope of your work or your organizational goals. And finally, all this information was compiled to meet the needs of the funder, but it came at the cost of limiting your own snapshot of the work in FieldDoc. Your effort was reduced to just the components relevant to the funder's framework, not necessarily the full scope of your project. Now, I'm excited to announce a brand new feature, packs. Packs are designed to help accelerate the scaling of your conservation and restoration data. Here's how it works. As we saw in the data model, you start by creating a portfolio of activities. At this stage, nothing is shared with a funder yet. This approach gives you the flexibility to use FieldDoc exclusively to manage your own portfolio, stopping there if you choose. But if you do need to share activities with the funder, this is where packs come in. You can create a pact within the funder's program and select which activities from your portfolio you want to add to it. Funders are still providing lists of activity types and their metrics, but now, once your activities are attached to a pact, you can layer in funder-specific metrics. This allows you to tailor your data to meet their reporting requirements. When everything is ready, you submit the pact, giving the funder visibility into the activities you've chosen to share, while keeping the rest of your portfolio intact. Let's recap the benefits of pacts because they are a game changer for both users and funders. First, pacts eliminate duplication concerns. You can share the same records with multiple programs, which means less repetitive work and more efficient data sharing. This opens the door for a wider range of funders and aggregators to collect data from practitioners within the FieldDoc system. Second, PACS makes it easier to adopt FieldDoc for organization-wide data management. With this feature, you can seamlessly manage your entire portfolio of activities, whether or not they're tied to a specific funder. In short, PACS are about scalability, flexibility, and making your data work harder for you. We've spent a lot of time discussing the foundational components of how activity data moves through the system. Now, let's dive into one of FieldDoc's most sought-after features, environmental models. In legacy FieldDoc, sediment and nutrient load reductions were estimated in one of two ways. Automated models, which automatically ran once the system gathered the necessary attributes. Second were interactive models, which launched additional input views that a user had to select as soon as the practice type was decided. While users loved the hands-on convenience of these models, we encountered several significant barriers to their use. First was lack of transparency. Many users didn't fully understand how the models worked. When a value wasn't returned for their practice, it often led to confusion and sometimes the assumption that FieldDoc or the other models were broken. Limited flexibility. Some users wanted to attach their own alternative reduction estimates because they disagreed with the model outputs. Unfortunately, the legacy system didn't allow records to be disassociated from the models. Finally, high-demand users wanted more detail. Our power users were eager to see exactly how FieldDoc calculated reductions, but that level of detail wasn't readily available. These challenges gave us a clear direction for improvement, and we've made some exciting updates to address them. To address these challenges, we made significant updates to this system. The result is a new modeled section within each activity record, one that users must manually activate. This updated view provides greater transparency and control. It exposes all of the model inputs so users can see exactly what's driving the calculations. It clearly indicates where the model has been run, and if it hasn't, it tells the user what information is missing to generate those outputs. A common example of this is if a land-river segment is missing from the model, we will have a button, a little notification button that appears in this module that shows that the model won't run. We've also extended these updates to the custom models integrated into FieldDoc. For example, as you can see here, the stream restoration protocols are now displayed in a cleaner, more approachable layout. This layout provides users with all the resources they need to start entering the necessary fields and run the calculations confidently. These updates empower users with clarity, flexibility, and the tools to make the most of FieldDoc's modeling capabilities. Let's talk about the benefits of these updates to the modeling system. First, exposing model inputs increases user confidence. By making the inputs and processes transparent, users can better understand how the models work and trust the results. Second, we believe it's crucial to empower users with choice. The ability to manually turn models on or keep them off gives users greater control over their data and how it's analyzed. Finally, this change is a step toward the future. It's preparing the system to support additional model integrations, allowing us to expand and evolve FieldDoc's modeling capabilities to meet growing user needs. Let's talk about implementation reporting next. In Legacy FieldDoc, reports were the main workflow for demonstrating progress towards installation. The progress you entered in these reports would appear in the practice record summary view and roll up to the project and program levels. However, this process was extremely time-consuming. You had to enter each individual record, create a new report, manually input your progress, load your entries, and finally, save your work. Honestly, it often felt like creating progress reports took more time than setting up the actual project itself. We heard you loud and clear. You want to reclaim your time from reporting, and we've made changes to help you do just that. Because reporting is such a critical component of the FieldDoc system, we all want to know where these restoration activities and nature-based solutions are actually happening. We approached these updates from two angles. First, we transformed reports into implementation views, introducing the option to add data using grids. This changed significantly how fast you can do data entry, making the process faster and more intuitive. Second, we introduced an implemented value field within every activity record metric. This allows you to adjust your metric values directly from a single record if you choose. Now, you can track progress alongside your goals without having to navigate multiple steps. Both options provide a clear visualization that tracks your progress towards completion, helping you to stay on top of your work with ease. This is definitely worth seeing in action. Here, we're looking at a view within a pact. Notice how we've switched to a grid view, making it easy to work directly with the metrics reported. From here, you can quickly enter the progress towards goals you have row by row. We're using copy and paste functionality in order to move records around and enter in the implementation value amounts. Once you've entered your updates, you can check your progress in the activity view or a packed summary view. The result? So much time saved, giving you more freedom to focus on your value-added work instead of tedious data entry. These updates are designed to significantly reduce the burden of reporting by streamlining the entire process. Not only can you report progress for PAC metrics, but you can also track progress for any organizational metrics that matter for you. And one of my favorite features, from any view you choose, you can now see the target right alongside the progress you've entered. This makes it easier than ever to stay on top of your goals and ensure your reporting is accurate and efficient. Last but not least, I'd like to share some critical updates about account access. First, you still need to be part of an organization to use FieldDoc, and everyone needs to create an account before you can get assigned to an organization. To stay in compliance with grant reporting requirements, the organization that owns a pact must still be the grant recipient. However, we've introduced new features to make collaboration easier. These optional features are designed to facilitate partnerships and improve support from technical service providers, helping you work more effectively with others while maintaining compliance. To support these updates, we've introduced expanded account oversight and functionality. One exciting addition is workspaces. This feature is perfect for individuals working across multiple organizations, such as technical service providers supporting application development. Workspaces allow you to switch between organization portfolios seamlessly without mixing or overlapping data. And finally, we've enhanced organization-level features and simplified permissions to help each organization maximize their time in FieldDoc. For example, every organization now has access to an Atlas view. This view provides a comprehensive snapshot of progress towards organization-specific targets, sediment and nutrient load reduction estimates, and activity footprints for each part of the portfolio. These account upgrades open the door to exciting new possibilities. First, they allow us to offer subscription tiers that cater to varying user goals. This means you're no longer limited to using FieldDoc solely for submitting applications to funders. You can now tailor the platform to fit your broader needs. Second, these features make it easier than ever to collaborate and scale. Whether you're working across organizations or managing large portfolios, the system is designed to grow with you. And finally, these upgrades provide greater transparency. You'll have a clear view of who can access and edit your portfolio, from organization oversight to cascading levels of data. These changes make FieldDoc more adaptable and collaborative and more transparent than ever before. I want to leave you with a sneak peek of what else we've added to this new system. Here's just a glimpse. Expanded activity lists give you more flexibility in tracking and managing the entire span of your work. Organizational metrics give you better goal setting and progress monitoring for your own organization. An enhanced map editor and viewer gives you more robust geospatial analysis and draw tools within the FieldDoc platform. Custom workflow modules tailor FieldDoc to your unique processes. And even direct integration with ArcGIS Online and Airtable make it easier to connect FieldDoc with your existing data management and visualization tools. With so much innovation packed into this system, we're committed to rolling out information and training opportunities at a manageable pace. We want to ensure you have the time and resources to fully explore and adopt these new features without feeling overwhelmed. And for now, we're releasing everything in beta mode so that all users can access it. I'd like to invite you to register for our 2-month workshop training series, designed to help you build your skills and confidence with the new system. Registration links will be distributed after this webinar, so keep an eye out for those. In the meantime, we encourage you to visit our expanded Help Center. It's packed with a growing library of training materials and in-depth content that dives into every corner of the system. Whether you're just getting started or exploring advanced features, the Help Center is here to support you. If you have an upcoming deadline, I also recommend that you check out the program guidance section for specific guidance. I know we covered a lot of ground today, so thank you for sticking with me. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to my team at support@fielddoc.org. We are here to help and will do our best to guide you to the right answers. Thank you again for joining us. I'm excited to hear about your experiences with the new system and see how you make it work to support your own work going forward.